Let's be honest, it's boring and annoying to wait a whole week for just one new chapter of a manhwa. And if the manhwa gets dropped while you were looking forward to the release of its next chapter, then the situation gets even worse. So today I will be recommending you all top 10 completed manhwa that you should read right now. And please note that I couldn't include more than 10 manhwas in this video, so I have given a few more names in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's start our list.
But something deep inside won't let me quit. I swear that I'm inspired by all this shit. Tell me that I can't and I won't. That's what guides me the most. Fuck your lies, I'll do what I want.
Coming at number 10 we have Monster Child. The protagonist Charlie runs away from home, and now in order to earn a living, he was desperately searching for a job. However, he gets involved in the scheme of some dangerous people who promised him a huge sum of money if he worked for them. But at that time, he didn't know that his life was in danger and his actual purpose was to become the food of a baby monster. The manhwa is not colored, but its art style is really good and its storyline is very unique. The main character is weak at the start but turns super strong after a few chapters. He becomes selfish later in the story but goes through character development and realizes what's really important for him. The side characters are also written quite nicely and the fight scenes are also quite thrilling. So try it out, you will definitely like it. Coming at number 9 we have Pounding. Seyun lived a miserable life while being severely bullied by some of his classmates. While trying to commit suicide, he's saved by his second personality who was the exact opposite of him. He starts taking revenge on Seyun's bullies but also puts him in danger many times. So in a way, he becomes his savior and also his worst enemy. This is a classical high school revenge manhwa with a bit of twist in its plot. Its art is good and its storyline is awesome, although it might feel a bit confusing at the beginning. The main character is weak and a wimp, but his second personality is strong and badass. The fight scenes are also very detailed and thrilling, so make sure to give it a read. Coming at number 8 we have Promised Orchid. Yang Jae-jin was different from everyone else as he had the ability to see ghosts and specters whenever he put his glasses on. In order to save money, he moves from his apartment to a cheap house which was rumored to be haunted by ghosts. Unfortunately for him, he becomes the target of a killer ghost on the first day of transferring, and in order to save himself, he runs to an ancient temple where he meets a specter who looked like a human. And thus the journey of a specter and human begins. The art of this manhwa is top tier and its story might feel mediocre at the beginning, but it gets much more entertaining and deep after 60 or so chapters. The main character is weak at start but has a hidden power that he was initially unaware of. He is also naive and puts his life in danger in order to save others. But overall, this was a very enjoyable read, so I recommend you to try it out. Coming at number 7 we have Warblade. For the longest time, humans and demons have lived in different realms. But in the year 2037, humanity collapsed because of the apocalypse caused by the invasion of the demons. In order to prevent that, one chosen person was sent to the past, but because of an unforeseen circumstance, that person was killed. But not all hope was lost, as to replace that person, the protagonist gets sent to the past and now he must get strong enough with the help of an app that lets humans travel to the underworld. Both its art and story is amazing. The main character is strong from the start and later gets overpowered using his knowledge of the future. The story might get confusing sometime, but keep reading it as everything gets explained at the later chapters. Coming at number 6 we have The Blue Land. One day, the crime detective Kang Jung-woo stumbles across a building filled with gangsters. Upon further inspection, he finds out that some of the rooms in the building were full of illegal cash worth over $100 million. Fortunately, even after getting caught by the gang members, he somehow manages to save his life but later finds himself being hunted down by some of the most rich and powerful politicians of Korea. This is a very underrated action and mystery manhwa. Its art is a bit old-fashioned but is really good and its story is just incredible. The protagonist is physically strong from the start and later makes his own gang in order to fight against his enemies. Coming at number 5 we have Dark Mortal. Namkang lived a very peaceful life with his family. But one day during an explosion, his parents pass away and he becomes nearly blind. But even after becoming blind, he could see a strange black blob who becomes his only friend. While growing up, he was often bullied, but he was able to endure it all with the help of this imaginary friend. But one day, Nam wakes up from a harsh beating only to find out that all of his scars vanished and his vision had been restored. However, he was no longer able to see his imaginary friend. Both the art and the story of this manhwa is good. It starts with the simple case of bullying, but later the story becomes much more serious. The characters are really well written, especially the main character. He turns from an innocent boy to a badass after the first season. Overall, this was a pretty decent read and I highly recommend you to give it a try. Coming at number 4, we have Delivery Night. A long time ago, the world became so polluted that it was even hard to breathe in the open. While most people avoided the suffocating pollution covering the world, the delivery men don't have the leeway to do the same. They risk their lives and deliver to the citizens the packages they need so desperately, and so they get the title of Delivery Nights. I don't want to give you guys any spoilers since this is a very unique manhwa. Its art might be average, but its story is really good. The main character keeps getting stronger and goes through character development throughout the story. The ending was a bit rushed, but other than that, this was a perfect manhwa. Coming at number 3, we have Asura. Asura is the champion of hell and the strongest demon to ever live and becomes bored as no one in hell is strong enough to take him on. But this changes when Buddha comes to hell to give a solution to Asura's boredom. He informs Asura of the supreme being that's about to descend on the living world, and now in order to go to the human realm, Asura has to pay a huge price. The art of this manhwa is average, but its story is really good. The main character loses all of his powers at the beginning, but that doesn't stop him from fighting strong enemies. He slowly becomes stronger and goes through character development as the story progresses. The fight scenes are also quite thrilling, so make sure to try it out. Coming at number 2, we have K the Cleaner. The protagonist K's daughter committed suicide because of an incident caused by some of her rich and influential classmates. But rather than receiving punishment, they twisted the truth and put all the blame on his daughter. Now, since the law couldn't punish them, he decides to take the matter in his own hands and kill all people responsible for his daughter's death. This is a very underrated revenge manhwa. Its art is good and its story is even better. He is ruthless and an absolute badass who doesn't leave any of his enemies alive. He is also smart and plans his revenge very carefully. So if you are looking for a revenge manhwa with perfect main character, then make sure to give this one a try. Coming at number 1, we have Itaewon Class. The protagonist Park Serohi lived a peaceful life with his father, but all of this ends when his father gets in a hit-and-run accident and dies. Later he finds out that the one who killed his father was the son of the president of a major company and also his classmate. Now, in order to get revenge, he makes a 15-year-long plan by starting his own pub and slowly making his company bigger than his enemies. This is a very underrated manhwa. Its art is average, but its story is super awesome. The main character is very likable and doesn't back down no matter how difficult the situation is. He's a bit stupid at the beginning but goes through character development after meeting his team. The side characters are also amazing and all of them have unique personalities. So try it out, you will definitely like it. That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching and I will see you in the next one.